Hi, this is Stuart. I'm just going to show you a brief run through of invoicing meter readings and how we can get our meter readings out to our customers. We're going to start by pressing the meters button here, which will give us the meter billing control center. We'll start with the invoice due date. So obviously when it's time to do your meter billings, you choose the invoice due date here and press OK. We can filter with other fields here and set the frequency, but if I just press refresh now, I'll get all the devices that are due a meter reading for this month. So I'm going to look at a machine here. Let's just say this Phaser 6600. I'm going to choose reading entry. The previous invoice meter reading value was 8,000. Let's just say it's now done 9,000 and the colour's done 7,500. And press save. It will generate the invoice values for me. So based on the contract, cost per copy, and this counter minus that counter, we've got our totals. If I choose save and then refresh, you'll see it's created an invoice value of £42. So that's a manual way of adding meter readings. If I go back into one, you can see here the machine has got an average monthly copy volume. I can, if I want to, choose estimate. It'll do a calculation to add the average monthly copy volume plus about 10% to the previous invoice meter reading value, and then I can save that and close. And again, if I refresh, I've now got two invoices. This process you would carry on until they're all done. Had you got a PIPS feed, your meter readings will be automatically fed into this side of the table with the latest reading date, the source being AU for auto upload, and the latest meter reading. In that case, you could then just choose the use button here, and any of the data that's in these right hand columns here will be transferred to these left hand columns here. So you can see the more devices that you have on PIPS, the quicker and easier it is to gather your meter readings. So obviously you would do this for all of your accounts. There are different ways of uploading in bulk if you've got CS remote and things like that, but I'm not going to discuss that in this video. So here I have two invoices to create, one for Data Direct and one for Office Printing Solutions. I can now choose create invoices. I can set my invoice date. I can do a minimum invoice value, so it will not generate an invoice if lower than the minimum invoice value, and I can create the invoices. Okay, if I now refresh, those two have gone, leaving me with what's left. So at this point you can carry on and enter more and more meter readings, but I'm just going to go to those two that I've created. So I'm going to close the meter billing control center. I'm going to open orders, and this is the orders and draft invoice center. You'll see I have two draft invoices here, one for Office Printing Solutions and one for Data Direct. Okay. At this point, if I had multiple machine meter readings for the same account, I could press merge mode. I could select the accounts I want to merge and then merge the invoices to create one document with all of the meter readings on. In this case, we're not going to do that. I'm just going to create the invoices. So those invoices have now gone. Okay. If I now close that and go to invoicing, I can go to invoice print. I can see that I've got some invoices already in the system, and I can either print them all or email them all. In this case, I'm going to print an invoice with an email address, and if I just preview, you'll see my invoices. So this is the invoice layout that I've got. It's just my temporary one, or I can print those invoices, send them to my printer, choose my 3300 there and print. But what you would probably want to do in the case of your customers is that move this to history. I'm going to choose no, you would choose yes, but at this point for demonstration purposes, with all of these highlighted, you would email the ticked items, and this then will email all of your invoices as those PDFs to the email address which you've got saved on the customer's account. Once they are done, and you've chosen yes, so let me just send those to my email address. You'll get a dialog box come up to say were they done correctly. I would then choose yes, and the invoices have now moved to history. So if I go to refresh, and then I can close. That is the basics of how you would do your invoicing, from meter readings to draft orders to invoicing. If you have any further questions, you can either call myself or Luke at Select, or you can choose the feedback button at the top here. Make a note of your query, let us know what type of incident, request or comment it is, and then notify Select and somebody will call you back. Thank you very much for listening.